Hi, I'm Tony Guglielmo, the state senator from the 35th District, and I've been asked to comment on the governor's State of the State address, and I'd have to say it's breathtaking in that so many of the things that were said were just not accurate. And the part, it was an illusion. The surplus is an illusion made up of not paying down debt, on raiding existing funds, same old kind of budget gimmicks that we had in the past, and they're projected into their future, and they're called a surplus. The Office of Fiscal Analysis, which is the independent wing of the legislature, it's bipartisan, nonpartisan, they're talking about billions of dollars in deficit in the out years. Everybody on the podium knows that. Everybody that was listening to the speech from the House and the Senate knows that, and yet the speech doesn't touch on any of that. And we continue to move ahead borrowing money to give it away. I mean, I've been railing about these things for a long time, and I did it under Republican governors too. There was some of this then where we gave money to corporations and for what I would call corporate welfare. I don't know, there's probably a better name for it, but when you give money to wildly successful companies, wildly successful like ESPN, like Jackson Laboratories, like Starwood Corporation, and these are international corporations, they have no loyalty to the state of Connecticut, and we've had already been burned by this many times. Pfizer put up a $60 million building for them in New London, which they abandoned as soon as the grant expired. So, you know, I believe in some of the things. I think the Small Business Express is a good idea. I think there's a difference between helping small business and helping large corporations. Small business people are going to stay here. They have their roots here. They have family here. They're less likely to leave. Big international corporations, they're loyal only to their shareholders, and that's as it should be. I mean, if I'm a shareholder of Cigna or ESPN, I want them to do the best for me as a shareholder. But as a taxpayer from the state of Connecticut, I don't see the rationale of subsidizing these companies. So none of that is discussed. So there's what was in the speech that I found troubling, and then what was left out of the speech maybe more troubling. I mean, we have the same problems. We're kicking the can down the road for another group to follow. And mark my words, in the 2015-16, you will, unless things change, you will see large deficits and you will see more tax increases. And people in my district cannot afford more taxes. All these programs are wonderful. There's not too much you can disagree with. Preschool for kids, it's great. I mean, it's important. But you have to pay for this stuff. And most of the folks in my district, barely moving along, barely keeping pace. In some cases falling behind. So they can't afford to subsidize any new programs, and they certainly can't afford to subsidize successful corporations. It makes no sense to me. Thank you for listening.